Hey there, I recently made a video talking about what I liked about the Ducky Revenge event, but today, oh boy, I am going to piss off a bunch of people. And that's the fact that I think that this event, it's mediocre at best. It does very little well, and the things that it does well, it does excel in those points. So now this is the part where I start talking about what I dislike about this event, so like... Oh boy, where do I even start with the map layout? What I think about the map has not changed at all. I still think it's very cool to see the developers actually try to implement teamwork, but really, I cannot fool anybody when I tell you that with what the developers have done to this community's brains, this does not really work. The execution of the map where you need to micromanage certain things such as the other side's defense status and also things like event currency drop rate is honestly beyond stupid. Like, why should I care about how the other people are doing with the second side? Why can't both sides merge into one path that forms an exit? Not to mention, one side is much harder than the other one. Like, that's absolute bullshit for the people that need to defend the harder side. Why can't both sides have balanced out difficulties? If you're going to make a multipath map, make sure that both sides have a loop or both sides have a straight and simple path with a few turns. This is why I absolutely hate maps such as Winter Stronghold and Black Spot Exchange. If I had to pick an insane map, I would rather play on either Infernal Abyss, Space City, or hell, even Derelict Outpost. Anything that doesn't need me dividing my attention and has an actually merged exit. This map absolutely stinks, and is probably one of my least favorite maps in the game thus far. It's on par with the aforementioned Derelict Outpost. Even though I said I would play that map, I would never say that I enjoy that map whatsoever. Not only is the map dark as hell, but you also have to wait for the right side to get remotely close to your towers. Do I even need to talk about the optimization? Like, so many people already criticized it that I literally see no point. This was an example that you have probably already heard so many times, but why the hell do games such as Wuthering Waves, The Crew Motorfest, hell, even some games on Roblox, such as Doors and Undertale Last Corridor, have better optimization than this game? Is it because the Tower Defense Simulator developers don't care about their optimization? And I better not see any sort of comment such as, oh, but they do optimization updates! Bullshit, no they don't! If they actually did those updates instead of doing the corporate talk Bazooki is doing with the site's moderation, I would be getting easily 45 to even 60 FPS, and a lot of people as well. There is no explanation here, just the developers being pure ignorant and just not doing anything about the optimization whatsoever. Before I even start talking about the mode balancing on a surface level, I should probably mention, yes, I know that the mode is beatable with no special towers, and towers that level 30s can obtain. People have already made videos of it, but it's still much harder than the recommended towers for this event. Okay, with that out of the way, I don't know what the hell the developers are doing with the balancing currently, because even after the QA testers stepped in, this game still suffers from towers with crowd control and stun immunity, outclassing basically any tower in the game. And this has been happening for nearly 2 years. Ever since Lunar Overture, and not like it hasn't gotten any better since, because it only got worse. Towers such as Pursuit, Mortar, Ranger absolutely destroy this mode for some reason, and if you don't have them, good luck relying on Rocketeer, Turret, and normal Minigunner, and there's probably a way to fix this, but I'm not even qualified to talk about this issue in the first place since I never balanced a tower defense game, and probably never will. Let's just talk about the next topic. As if I haven't mentioned my absolute hatred towards the story enough on this channel, but I guess it's time to double down again. I have not changed my mind about the story whatsoever. It feels plain, it feels forced to appeal to an audience it shouldn't even be trying to appeal to, and the dialogue feels it's on the level of the reboot era of Need for Speed games. And yes, I will continue to compare TDS to Need for Speed. In terms of story, they have the same flaws, and both companies refuse to listen to the player base to stop with this entire story bullshit. A game's story, in my eyes, should have some kind of jokes that make me burst out laughing, but, like, I don't know, the Ratchet and Clank games, for example, those games have the kind of humor that appeal to me, but TDS? No, these jokes are cringeworthy. There's no in between. I understand that dialogue on Wave 13 is supposed to make me burst out laughing, since, oh hey, they strapped a bomb to a duck. But I literally cannot with Dispatcher screaming in my ear like she wants to bring my attention. And you all know exactly what I'm going to tell the developers to do to fix this, right? Make cutscenes mute. Use only sound effects and music, something like Tower Galactica does, cause I cannot bear listening to these poorly written characters for 2 more seconds. That's the only thing I'm going to ask for.
And that's basically all I can really say about this event when it comes to the negative points I have for it. I think this event could have been much better if it was planned a bit differently. I really hope that if the developers ever release another event, which, let's be honest, they will actually consider what the QA testers actually say instead of just blatantly ignoring them. Because wow, putting teamwork in a game played by people who can't even get around any of the challenging content without a document seems like they shouldn't really attempt to add teamwork at this point. You know, maybe I'm wrong though. What I don't think I'm wrong about is the optimization and the story though. I think we can all agree both of those aspects were some of, if not the worst things about this event. And mostly TDS in general. There's also the balancing, but I won't really talk about that. I will leave that to the QA team to clean up that mess. Alright, this was your host, VirusDetected, and for today, I'll hopefully be clocking off for the night.